Hi guys, and in this episode of Making Antivirus, we're going to do building the client. So here I have just a standard project. I've just literally opened a new VCL app and I've saved it. So here's our main form. You can name the client whatever you like, and pretty much all we're going to be doing is some of the GUI work, and so the user's interface, and we're going to add a few files that need to be added again. So first of all, we need to come to the shared folder, and we need to get the shared named file named pipes commands, and then next we need to add the pipes, these two, that mirror the server side. And once they finally load, there you go. So we're going to put client in this one, or actually I believe we cut this out. We go in here, we cut it out. So we're going to copy that. You can delete this constant because I didn't use it in the end. And put in our pipe name. Now we will need to declare the fact that we want it to go and check the named pipe command or commands. And it's now saying that there's no A, so that's easy to fix. So if you go back and you look at one of the other ones, the other video I did when we were doing this in the client, I did the exact same changes in the client, but didn't copy the file over pretty much. But yeah, it creates it, that's fine. Okay, so that's fixed. We're not going to need them really today. Today is mainly about putting the client together. Now I'm going to use a page controller. Is it a page controller I want? Yep. So I'm going to use a page controller. But you could go down the route of making this all fancy and putting buttons down one side, and then flicking through tabs that don't have a top. But I'm not going to do that, because this is YouTube, and at the end of the day, the majority of people watching this video are only watching the first 2 minutes. So we're going to call this state, and then we're going to call this one scan, and then we're going to make one last one, and we're going to call that settings. So this is similar to season 1, where we went through and set it up so that, you know, once you were in the application, you just click tabs. So we're going to save that, and we're going to come over to scan first, because we're going to propagate the scan feature first, because we need to check whether the client server pipe works, and so we need the scan buttons first. So we're going to need an edit. Oh no, this is where it's going to get complicated. No, it isn't. No, we can get around that. So this is going to be our we need a label. So this is going to be our file or object path. Not that you're not going to be able to put you're only going to be able to put files on this path anyway, but it doesn't matter. And then we want a browse button. Now a lot of these features we're going to propagate over probably the next episode. Simply because I'm trying to keep them to about 10 minutes an episode, and That's not very long. And so what I'm doing now is I'm quickly naming them. So scan, object, no, this is browse. Object, button. Right. So later on we're gonna have to chop these up anyway. Or actually no, we're gonna do the same thing we did with the first season. And if you want to change it, it's not really rocket science to change it. So we're going to put list view. In the bottom. And we're not going to make it that big because we're not hoping that there's going to be very much come back. And we'll leave adding columns to that for another day. And so this is going to be detections. You should be able to see about where this is going. We want some radio buttons. There you go. And we're going to want 3 of them. So what we're doing is we're pretty much mirroring the functions that we had on the back end. So this one will be quick scan. This one will be full scan. And this one will be custom. So in the last season we didn't actually get to the point where really we had the ability to run a preset scan. Although it wouldn't have been particularly difficult to add such a feature. This is the scan button. And so this is what we're going to end up with. So when we send a task to the service, it's going to want to know what scan type it is first. Then if it's a custom, we'll enable the use of this button and this button, or this edit and this button. And if not, we'll just ignore what's in it. And then the scan button simply sends that command to the backend and says, okay, backend, I need you to scan this file or these files or this scan type. And what we'll do is I've left this space in the middle here so that we can add a checkbox for scan processors and a checkbox for scan registry, if we end up getting that far. And so this is pretty much where we're going to leave it today. I'm trying to keep them short. YouTube keep moaning at me because people are only watching about the first 3 minutes of a video and then they're giving up. So if you've made it this far, congratulations. As suggested by another YouTuber who does programming, I'm not going to release the source code for. I'm going to release it as a week delay from now on. Simply because people are coming, they're watching the first 2 seconds of the video, and then they're just jumping down to the downloads link and taking the source code, which I don't have any problem with. This is an open source project. But it's a bit annoying when I make the content and no one watches it. So that's enough ranting. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I hope you can see that the project is now starting to come together into something that you can start playing around with. And do feel free to move all these buttons and things. They're not really set in stone where they have to be. If you want to put a panel in here and then made the panel disappear, and it's not hard to do. It's just too much work for me to do in a short YouTube video. Right, guys, so until next time, thanks for watching. If you missed the last episode of how to make an antivirus, That's here. There's a subscribe button there if you're not already subscribed. 99.5% of the people watching these videos are not subscribed, so if you're one of them 99%, please click the subscribe button. This is a video you might enjoy also.